Chris Biffle, Coach B, broadcasting live on April Fool's Day, 2013. The show today is about main idea. How do we teach kids what a main idea is? It seems like a daunting task. It certainly kind of boggled me when I was trying to think about how to do this, because we do main idea all over the place. How can we define it as a simple concept? How can we explore that concept? How can we turn it into writing tasks? This is program 550. That means we've had 50 of these 1-hour broadcasts. And we'll go quickly through the opening bits because all this is available as a PDF. I'll tell you how to get the PDF at the end of the broadcast. So there I am, Coach B, what is a main idea, doing my little dance. My friends, sometime remind me to tell you the story about 1967 when I hitchhiked from Santa Cruz, California to Broadway to be a dancer. I bet you'd love to hear that story tonight. I bet you'd like the main idea of the story. Main idea of the story was I got 30 rides and I only got 300 miles. That's the main idea of my journey to Broadway to be a dancer in 1967. That's the main idea. All right, here we go. Let's use this good 3D mix. All these are Common Core broadcasts, and they are electronic lessons, my friend. All you got to do is just pop the PDF in your computer, and I can make changes on the fly. The opening of these PDFs are all the same. Makes it easier to teach. We're doing the 5-step lesson plan and no April fooling. 5 steps. We ask a question. What's the main idea? We answer with a gesture. I'll show you the gesture in due time. A main idea is what something is all about. You see, we got to get huge, because main ideas are found everywhere. Then I'm going to give some examples of main ideas. We'll have a way to assess student understanding. And then we've got some pretty cool writing tasks. This is a K-12 program. Your kids will need to know how to do class yes, hands and eyes, mirror words, the scoreboard, and teach okay. But let me make this point right now. If your kids don't know how to do the scoreboard, class yes to teach okay, I've written a program that'll teach it to them. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll put it up next week. Just wait and see. All you got to do is, as usual, sit in the back of the classroom, drink foamy lattes while I teach your class how to do whole brain teaching. Let's press forward. If you don't have one, you can certainly get a scoreboard app. Scoreboard apps are available at iTunes, and it's an electronic gizmo that allows you to keep track of your student's score. When you're using these programs that I'm presenting, you read my speeches, like here's one of my speeches, and every once in a while there'll be a brackets. That tells you what gestures to make. Don't read the brackets. So let us just move down through the introductory material. It's self-explanatory. I want to get right to the good stuff. How are we going to teach main idea? And we start with the first question. What is a main idea? Good question to start with. And so here's how it works. Welcome, I'm Coach B, your college professor. Rub your hands together and tell your neighbor, oh, sweet mama, I'm going to love going to Whole Brain College. I often think that what we need at the top of a lesson is an exciter, something that kind of throws a spark on the tinder of their imaginations. And as a general thing, kids are excited about being in some higher grade than they are. If you tell some kindergartners, you know what, we're going to do second grade stuff, oh, they get excited. Well, now what you can say is, we're not doing second grade stuff or fifth grade stuff or 12th grade stuff. We're going to college. This is a college lesson. I'm a college teacher, at least I used to be, for 4 decades, joyful decades. So that's how you start. You get them excited about going to college. Then you say, class, class. They say, yes, yes. And you're off to the races. Oh, not fast enough, mighty grown. Here's the emphasis on mighty grown. It can't be like this. It has to be like this. And practice a few times. Quick and sharp. We don't have time to waste. And kids like quick and sharp better than low and slow. You know they do. They feel like, wow, we're really something. Here's the mighty yeah. Oh yeah, not like this. Oh yeah. But it's like this. Oh yeah. So when they're doing something positive, let them have a mighty oh yeah. They're doing something negative, give them a mighty groan. Now let's stop. Who's using the scoreboard and what are you using as the motivator? What's the payoff? I had some very good teachers tell me this last week. The only payoff for the scoreboard is bragging rights. That's brilliant. You win on the scoreboard, you know what? You get to brag about it. You lose on the scoreboard, I'm going to brag about it because I beat the class. Mind soccer is a very, very good motivator, very, very good reward. I'm glad to see that we're using Mind Soccer because it's academic review. Marianne, go to Mind Soccer, and there's a whole webcast on it. Use that now instead of recess. Vet 57, Nancy, give this person a link to where they'll find Mind Soccer at on the website. Lori, welcome. Lori, isn't it cool you finally got on and here I am saying hello to you? All right. So now let's take a look at the beginning of the lesson. Notice this lesson, this little dialogue has 3 parts. You say hands and eyes, they say hands and eyes, and do this. Then you say we're going to have a very exciting day today in Whole Brain College. Oh, so exciting. When you see the separate bubbles, that gives you your pacing guide. First you do one, then you do another, then you do another. And I've built in the Teach OK. This is the Think, Pair, Share. All you have to do, and that's what's so cool about these lessons, is you just got to read the yellow boxes. Here I am saying class, class, and now we state the question, what is the main idea? Now, I'm of 2 minds on hands and eyes. Sometimes we say, when you say hands and eyes, the kids say hands and eyes, they fold their hands on the desk. Other times you say, when I say hands and eyes, you say hands and eyes, and you lean forward. I kind of like that leaning forward. So maybe, well, let's just leave it up to you. It's your classroom. If you like plain old hands and eyes, that works good. You like hands and eyes with a little forward lean. And then if you go hands, hands, hands and eyes, then they could really do the big lean. Blizzard explained to them the cutter which we invented this last weekend. All right, so here we are. Jeff Battle is online. Well, my day is made. Jeff Battle, one of our veteran whole brain teaching gurus, And I got to say, one of the smartest, most intelligent articulators of education theory I've ever met. You don't want to go up against Jeff Battle in an online rampage if you have anything negative to say about whole brain teaching. You discover why we call him Bulldog Battle. All right. We have Sister Jose from Brazil is online. We're just ripping tonight. Let's look at our answer. So, in the answer, we have obviously a little scoreboard action. They weren't loud enough. Oh, they were louder there. And here's our answer. This is the piece you need to pay attention to because you can only get this. You can only get this through the video. Question is, what is the main idea? I'm going to put my screen down a little bit, and I'm going to move back, give you a little bit bigger view here. The main idea is what something is all about. The main idea is what something is all about. I'm using 4 fingers. This is the something, what something is all about, and I'm rubbing it around in a circle. What something is all about. I think I do it that way. Emphasize the word all. Next screen. And so in the program, I even built in repetition so that when we get to things that are especially dense, I go over them a couple of times in the PDF. And then you tell the kids, you know what? We've already done 2 of the 5 steps. We have the question, what is the main idea? And then we have the answer. The main idea is what something is all about. We're now ready for the big teaching step. If you don't mind, let me make a point here. The big step is step 3. You ask the question, you get them to tell each other the question. No background knowledge, just go in, here's the question that I'm going to answer today. We don't do background knowledge because a lot of times kids don't have background knowledge. There's inaccurate background knowledge. Just get them excited about going to college, whole brain college. We give the answer. The answer always has a gesture. What's a prime number? A prime number can only be divided by 1, and itself. What's a sentence? A sentence is a complete message. Every answer has a gesture. But then we get to the 3rd step. The 3rd step is where we explore that answer, and we always, at least thus far as I'm developing these, I always follow the same sequence. 1 example at a time, teach it to your neighbor. Another example, teach it to your neighbor. Another example, teach it to your neighbor. Then make the examples a little bit more complex. Let kids start practicing by using sentence stems, and then finish up with a pretty large open-ended task to apply what they learn. So step 3 is our exploration stage. It's our real teaching step. But we go from simple examples to more complex examples. And what we mean by more complex is blanks the kids have to fill in. And then finish up with a couple of large blanks. And you'll see how this goes. Now, anyone out there online using the 5-step lesson? Kate, you must be using it. Giselle, I know you're using the 5-step lesson. Nancy, I know you're using the 5-step lesson. Share a little bit with your colleagues about how it's working. Andre, I know you use it. And the beautiful thing, now wait, we got to stop here. You know what happens when we have to stop. First, I tilt this back. Listen to me now. This is new. First of all, tell me how excited you are to have some more new stuff while I take off my glasses for this big point. Here's the deal. And I just realized that this weekend in Wichita, talking to some middle school teachers. We use the 5-step lesson whenever we're teaching a core concept that has to be stone cold memorized. You know, what's a paragraph? What's an experiment? Who is Isaac Newton? What's an appositive? These are the core concepts of your class. For me, it was, what is philosophy? What's metaphysics? So I'm going to use that 5-step lesson when I'm teaching a core concept. But I do lots of other teaching that isn't core concept. What do I do then? Here's what I do. I just have a list of questions. What are key features of Greek architecture? Or, what's a sonnet? Where I'm not going to define sonnet. Or, if I'm lecturing, I just make questions. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And I put them up as PowerPoints. Here's the 5 questions I'm going to answer. Here are the answers. And you can see an example of this question list if you download WBT Writing. So 2 ways now that we're doing whole brain teaching. 1, 5-step lesson whenever we have core concepts. We're not doing core concepts and we're just teaching along. We're just giving question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And put those questions and answers in an outline format so you got the big question up here, the sub-questions down here. Can everybody dig that? What do you think online? All right. So that really expands the scope of whole brain teaching. Whenever you're teaching, well, there's another piece you're teaching when you're trying to get kids to do an exercise or whatever, but keep using the questions, keep using the answers, and that sets you up for the kids to teach each other. One kid asks the question, the other kid gives the answer. All right, I'm glad we made that point. It's brand new. And you know, we hardly ever do anything brand new in whole brain teaching. Ha ha ha, yeah. All right, let's look at some examples of main idea. So now, there's no thinking involved here. I just want to give kids examples of main idea with graphics. The main idea of a book is what a book is all about. Have them teach each other. Just say main idea over and over again. The main idea of one of my stories is what the story is all about. The main idea of a poem is what a poem is all about. Teach okay, pair share, just say it, say it, say it. Main idea of an experiment is what an experiment is all about. Now, we are to the slightly more complex level. You would model this. The main idea of a sonnet is what the sonnet is all about. The main idea of evolution is what evolution is all about. So you model that and then you just get them to put in some words. Glasses off again, my friends. Glasses off. One of the biggest mistakes we make is giving more than one example at a time. Give them an example, they say it to each other. Another example, they say it to each other. It takes repetition to transfer from short-term to long-term memory. That's the only way you get from short-term to long-term memory. How did you remember your new phone number? You said it over and over and over and over and over until then it was in long-term memory. Jeff Battle will tell you all about that. He's our brain guru. So, here we have the screen. Main idea is what blank is all about. And notice, my friends, we're going in real small steps here. We're going to get to some really cool stuff if we go in small enough steps. Not only will we get there, they'll get there. Oh, that would be weird. Now, let's expand this slightly with some graphics. Let's give our examples more details. The main idea of school is learning. Learning is what school is all about. Just a teeny little step further into exploring main idea and just use the language. The main idea is soccer is scoring goals. Scoring goals is what soccer is all about. Now don't argue with me about soccer yet. Just hang on. You'll see where this is going. Or you could say the main idea of soccer is getting exercise. Getting exercise is what soccer is all about. Or wait a second. You could even say the main idea of soccer is having fun. Having fun is what soccer is all about. Huge concept, introduced here slowly. There could be more than one way of seeing the main idea of an activity or a textbook. Textbook, a chapter is what the chapter is all about, but we could frame what that main idea is perhaps in a variety of ways. That's fairly sophisticated thinking that we got into very easily by going slow. Give me an oh yeah. Now, here's our point. The main idea of soccer could be scoring goals, or getting exercise, or having fun. Notice that I'm just going through this, and you'll do it differently with your kids because they'll be repeating this stuff back to you. Now we're continuing to go in step 3. Now, let's have some blanks. The main idea of blah is blah. Blah is what blah is all about. Model that, and then give them a chance to do it orally. We emphasize the importance of oral repetition because kids can get more reps orally than they can writing stuff down. We want them to write, but we want to preload that writing process with lots of speaking of the patterns we want them to write. I read somewhere and I thought it was preposterous, but I think it's true. Kids have to say something 26 or 27 times before it really begins to absorb in long-term memory. So here is Coach B, myself, getting everyone's attention, and let's look at the screen. Now let's play a game. Playing a game with our mind giant friends. Kate and I are working on a mind giant book. She's finished her work. I've got to pitch in now, but we think, here's another biggie. Is it so weird to say that you should make your PowerPoints look fun? You got any kids out there who like fun? I don't think you've ever had a kid that said, I don't like fun. Please. Make the PowerPoints look fun. That's why I set this up as a cartoon. Now, how do you make PowerPoints look fun? Well, you use mind giants. Here's 2 of our mind giants. Big Dilly says, what's the main idea of saying the Pledge of Allegiance? And Smarty Wonderbeak says the main idea of saying the Pledge of Allegiance is such and so. Big Dilly asks about mowing the lawn. Smarty talks about the main idea of mowing the lawn. Now kids are actually doing some thinking at this point. What's the main idea of a television commercial? Well, let's think about what a main idea of a television commercial is. Remember, we could have a couple of different versions of this. What's the main idea of your favorite book? Now, this is a good one. 2 blanks to fill in. My favorite book is blah, blah, and I've got to think about what that main idea is. Notice that by this point in the program, they have probably said the phrase main idea 35 times and linked it to what something is all about, and now they're coming up with examples. This is the way to teach, my friends. Little steps, lots of reps, make it fun, and go slowly. Traditional education is just the opposite. Few steps, too fast, too big, and no fun. Gee, I wonder if that would hurt test scores to teach that way. Yeah. Here's some more stuff. More examples. My favorite television program. Favorite song. Let's get some music in there. And now, you guessed it. You guessed it. It's time for the because clapper. Here's the because clapper if you haven't seen it before. Whenever a kid says because, they clap like this and the whole class claps because. Why? Because is the most important word in reasoning. I like whole brain teaching. No reasoning there. I like whole brain teaching because it's fun. It's fun. That's the evidence that backs up the assertion about whole brain teaching. Who out there is using the because clapper? And who is just so excited to be using the because clapper? I see that there's some people who are using the because clapper. That's right. Now, let's press on. So I tell people about the because clapper in the lesson. You guys know about it. And now let's have a more complicated example. The main idea of soccer is having fun because when you have fun, you're happy. Now I'm reasoning. Whenever you say because, you clap your hands. And now, let's get the because clapper in there. The main idea of blank is blank because blank. Now this is, and I say from the experience of a college professor, this is the beginning of some interesting thinking here. Well, the main idea of war and peace is to contrast the Bolkonskys and the Rostovs because it shows two different aspects of human personality. Maybe that's what I'd say about all of War and Peace, one of my favorite novels. So first you got to think, what is the main idea? And now let's come up with some reasoning. That's double thinking. You see how we got there? Nice and slow. Let's stop. Veteran teachers, you see how far I am in. I'm in about 60 or so slides. How long would it take you to get to this point? Is this a 2-day lesson? Is this a 3-day lesson? Tell us what your grade level is and how long would it take to get to this point. In college, I think I could get to it. I could get here probably in 20 minutes. Four days for third grade. Okay. About 3 days. Thank you, Brainiac. This is very helpful to people to see how you should space this out. 2 to 3 days. Grade 5, not sure. 2 days. Okay, Jeff. Yeah, I think we're all in the same ballpark. All right. Now, let's go. Here's our next Coach B. And now let's talk about what we talked about a bit before, two different main ideas. So let's play another game with our mind giant friends. What's the main idea of recess? Smarty says it's one main idea with a because, and Biffy Bluebird says it's another idea with a because. And let's do this pattern again and again. Main idea of Disneyland. Let's get two main ideas and two kinds of reasoning. Now we got quadruple reasoning going on. Main idea is Superman stories. I gotta ask you a question. Is Superman passé? I mean, do kids even know who Superman is? Because we haven't had a Superman movie in some time. So should I have made this Batman? Most do. Okay, Melanie. Melanie, change your name to Black because we have two kinds of folks online. The red gurus and the black text non-gurus. All right, Spider-Man. But you know, maybe Spider-Man will be out of date in a year or two. So let's look at a couple more of these. Main idea of horror movies. And so now we've walked very slowly through lots of examples, lots of exploration of the main idea, and we're ready to test. The Cutie. Now let's see, how many newbies do we have out here in our audience? Who doesn't know what the Cutie test is? How much time should I spend explaining the Cutie test? Traco? All right. So Jay Cruz and my other red gurus, you explain the QT. I'll go over it one time. No problem. We love to teach. The QT is our assessment, and it works this way. It's faster for me just to explain it. You say it's a quick test, so we say QT, abbreviate. You say cutie, they say cutie. They cover up their eyes with their hands. You make some true-false statements. If the answer is true, thumbs up they give you. If the answer is false, thumbs down they give you. If they're not sure, they waggle their thumb. So you're now reviewing what you've just taught, and you can instantly see who gets it and who doesn't get it, and nobody's embarrassed by not getting it. So the QT is a powerful instant assessment, and it tells you, should I reteach or should I go on? And remember, since it's just true and false, kids got 50% chance of getting it right. You need 90% of your kids getting 90% of the answers right. And here's a new idea for you. This is what I say. You have on a clipboard. Brainiac, try this for me. Nancy, try it. You have your class, you have your class seating pattern on a clipboard so you can see very quickly. When a kid misses a QT, just put a mark by his name. That child needs intervention if they cannot answer a true-false question correctly on what you've just taught. I'm going to say it again. Listen to me. If a child cannot correctly answer a true-false question on what you've just taught, even misses one of them, it's intervention time. How do you intervene? You go back to step 3 with the child and you walk them through some of the examples, or you get another child to work with them, or you get a parent. But intervene. Keep track of who is missing the QTs. Who out there is going to try that? Kate, I'm positive you're going to be all over that. Jeff Battle, can you use that in middle school? All right, good. Blizzard, try it out. Great, Jeff. Jeff, can you use the intervention piece, though? Great, Mrs. Brown. Ms. Brown. All right. Here's the screen. Nancy Stoltenberg, how many viewers do we have so far? So here's our sample QT. And here's the directions that Coach B gives. And then here's the QT questions. I'm going to make these larger because I really like these questions. You can just read them. The main idea of a story is what the first paragraph is all about. See, I'm saying main idea and what it's all about. Main idea of a story is what the most exciting part is all about. Two people can disagree about the main idea of a book. Yeah, they can. The main idea of reading is to learn more. Oh, yeah. The main idea of reading is counting the words you read. Get it? Here's what I'm doing, my friends. Here's what I'm doing. My goal is to do all your work for you. I want you, my beloved colleagues, to just be able to sit in the back of the classroom, drink the foamy lattes, and let me teach your class. You don't even have to write the QTs. I wrote them for you. And whatever you think, however good that is, you got to say, you know what? Keep doing it, Coach. Yeah, I know what it's like to teach. All right, my friends. Now, let's press on. I'm going to get to the writing stuff. We do our writing. We do a lot of oral writing. And at this point in the PDF, you just figure out when you want to do hands and eyes, class yes, mirror words, etc. So here's the blank we've seen before. Get kids to fill in that blank orally lots of times. But now we're going to start to really lay it on them. Double whammies. Double whammies. Here it is. My online audience, fill in that blank. The main idea of blank is blank because blank and blank. The blue and the green blank must be two different things. And if you have problems reading this, that's going to be no excuse because I'm going to blow it up. I want some examples from my online audience. The main idea of blank is blank because blank and blank. Not so easy, my dear educators. But notice we're not just throwing this at them, we've walked them up to this point. We're waiting for some online examples. The main idea of farming is growing food because many people are starving and food is nutritious. The main idea of whole brain teaching is making learning fun because students will learn more and teaching becomes easier. The main idea of evolution is change because of natural selection and variation in a species. Can you dig it? Now we are to some genuinely challenging thinking tasks. But we're not done. Notice we started simple, but we've got a little ways to go. Oh no, here comes a triple whammy. Excellent example from Brainiac. Here's the triple whammy. Now you've got to come up with 3 reasons to support your main idea. And my friends, if it truly is a main idea, and it's a fairly large piece, then there's going to be 3 reasons. And let's keep going. Let's add a sentence. Notice how I'm building up to a triple whammy paragraph. Color-coded. Anybody using triple whammy writing with color coding? How's it working? Add a sentence about the blue whammy, add a sentence about the green whammy, add a sentence about the red whammy. Cruz, you're teaching in inner city Philadelphia. I'll bet you're all over the triple whammy. You can do a double whammy, a single whammy, but keep it color-coded. And go slow. Lots of oral reps before we do the writing stuff. Now, here's the biggie. Now we can break out an essay that focuses on main idea, a generic essay. And you know what? In middle school, maybe we say the main idea of gravity or the main idea of Mendelssohn's experiments with plants. Maybe we give them the main idea, maybe we don't. But now they're writing a paragraph. Keep building on the color coding. We have some great ideas of triple whammy writing. So, orally or in writing, now we sum up. Tell your neighbor what a main idea is. Tell your neighbor what a main idea is. And this is something we haven't emphasized enough in the past. When you finish the 5-step lesson, my friend, you're not done. They've got to remember this stuff. Anybody out there interested in having kids remember what they're teaching them? You know, you taught them something in September, and in October, they never heard the word before. Why? I'll tell you why, and I'm taking the glasses off. You didn't translate the concept into a Power Pix. What's a Power Pix? Let's just see how many newbies we got out there. Anybody know what a Power Pix is? Tell me. You know what a Power Pix is? Lori, good for you. Well, let me show you what a Power Pix is. Here's a Power Pix. A Power Pix, which we include with all of these things, is a representation of the concept taught. Every Power Pix has up here at the top, question, in case you forget, answer, then a picture of the Power Pix with color syllables and the gesture down here. You put the Power Pix on the wall. Your whole course should be on the wall. If it is, you don't have to worry that they forgot because you're reviewing the wall all the time. Every Power Pix contains question, answer, gesture with a visual. So their whole brain. That's what's missing in American education, are Power Pix. In kindergarten, there's probably 70 different concepts kids need to memorize stone cold. And by the time you get to middle school, Jeff Battle, Andre Desch, How many concepts do you want your kids to know? Andre Deschotel? Jeff Battle? How many concepts in science, middle school science? A ton. That is a good scientific answer. Sarah, you're right. Between 1 and 300. Jeff, I think you're probably pretty close there. All right. Now, Nancy, how many people do we have online here? Because we're going to do something special to advance the cause of American education. I'm serious. Look, if you want a copy of this PDF, go to PayPal, put $5.50 in, and I'll show you how to do that. Here is PayPal. Right here, $5.50. I will send you a copy of the PDF, and I will include a professional development certificate for your wall, for your administrator, or for both, indicating that, yes, you completed this training. Next week, I'm going to do what is a topic sentence. That's right, my friends. What is a topic sentence? Who is excited to learn what a topic sentence is and how to teach one? How Coach B would teach one while you drink the foamy lattes. We got any excitement out there? Yes. That's next week. Next Monday night. I've got some Monday nights free here. I'm not traveling all over the country. Now, my friends, let's change American education right now. Here it is. The book is done. Let me tell you about books, my friends. Here's the book. Just came out on Amazon.com today. A book is an interesting thing. You may not have seen them before, but check this out. No batteries. Don't have to plug it in anywhere. And it comes, you can get these things. These are a throwaway stylus. You just use them and discard them. And whereas your computer only has one screen and it's slow to download, a book is pre-downloaded and it has like hundreds of screens. You know, these are going to catch on. Someday people are going to say, I remember back when we had these clunky, expensive computers, and then they came up with these things. Check this out. Check this out. All of the pages are paper thin. Can you dig that? What a thing, a book. Now, somebody is going to put a link into the text box, Nancy or someone else. Go to Amazon.com and write a glowing review. Write a glowing review about whole brain teaching. That'll advance the cause of American education. Tell people what you think. Because we will get some naysayers out there. There are teachers who don't like fun. So we need to load up Amazon.com with positive reviews. Who is going to do that to help out their colleagues learn about the wonders of whole brain teaching? It's all in this book, brand new. Please do it right now before you forget about it. Convince me that I should love you even more than I do. You know what? You could even buy the book. Is that so crazy? That's right, Kay Reed. You could have it in a book. All right. Do that for us, my friends. Great gift for a student teacher. And my friends, let's say you got a big backyard and you want me to come and teach all your colleagues. You want me to come teach your colleagues? Send me an email. Maybe your administrators are thinking about doing professional development. Let me come and do it. Or let Kate come and do it. Or Nancy come and do it. We've got some great trainers coming along. Now, who's going to come to Pineville, Louisiana? I know Sarah Metter is going to come. I know Andre is going to come. I know Daisy D is going to come. I know Southern Teacher is going to come. Isn't that enough? Blizzard 57 is coming. I know Giselle is coming. All right, my dear. Jeff Battle. We're going to have Jeff Battle there. Aussie Teacher, would you just make whole brain teaching? Aussie Teacher, I'm going to give you Australia. Make it happen. Our colleague Chris Rexid just got back from South Africa. Aussie Teacher, can you stand it that they've had an international conference in Istanbul and South Africa before Australia? Is that where you want to be, Aussie Teacher? Third behind Istanbul and South Africa? So friends, get your administrators to send me an email. You know, we do have this deal where you can get 10 of these webcasts for $19.99. Take a look at this deal sometime. All right, my friends. Another joyful time with you. Remember, next week is Topic Sentence. Write us some glowing reviews. Buy the book if you'd like it. And keep spreading. Take that golden thread of fun and weave it through everything we do. So here's what we do as we finish up. Let us know where you're from, my friends. Let your place and your grade, your city, grade, and state, let it flow down the screen, my friends. Let it flow. Illinois, Palmdale, Detroit, Florida, Virginia, Thousand Oaks, Independence, Missouri, Visalia, Milton, Delaware, Gibson, North Carolina, Sydney, Nebraska, Bakersfield, California, and on and on and on. All right, my friends, I do thank you. Those of you who are regulars know that we've been asking prayers for my family, and the prayers are working. The prayers are working, my friend. Thank you so much. Please keep your prayers coming. We are seeing progress with a difficult problem. Thank you so much. All right, my friends, until next week, Monday, Topic Sentence, power to the teachers. Coach B, signing off.